Hello and welcome back to webisode number 4 from 55 Degree Wine Webisodes. I'm Staci Miller and I have the great pleasure of doing one of my favorite things, introducing you more in depth either to a grape, a region, or a style. This week we're going to take a gander at Sangiovese, the blood of Jove for some, and if you've heard of it, it makes sense because it's probably the most widely grown grape in all of Italy. Its homeland, its heart, is up here in Toscana. Now within Toscana, we actually have a lot of designations that become the names of the wines that you've probably heard of. Chianti, Brunello, Vino Nobile di Montepulciano. Well, they all speak to place. So it's a pretty cool exploration because the grape Sangiovese has this innate propensity to clonally shift, technical term, but basically what it means is that the character of the grape itself changes and very much changes in place. I have put together a grouping of wines from our retail store and very often have the opportunity to bring them downstairs to taste. Let me show you just a few of them and then we'll taste a couple together. Well, sort of together. Come on down, we'll taste together. As it says, this is Sangiovese. Now, as I said to you, it is coming from all over Italy. This happens to be from a producer called Miglianico, and they are producing wines out of Abruzzo. Let me show you where that is. We are back here on the back of the boot, just a little south and a little east of Toscana. Imagine a very different Adriatic coast influence, and again, very much different soil. Miglianico's version of Sangiovese is really intended to be easy drinking, Wednesday night spaghetti dinner, and it kept it priced as such just for that reason. Chianti. Now you and I could spend hours exploring Chianti. Chianti is both the name of a wine and the name of a couple of different regions with sub-regions underneath. I'm going to show you on the map again where that is. We are between the towns of, right about in here, you'll see Chianti Classico if you could only read my beloved map. We're between the towns of Florence and Siena. This is from Trambusti. This is a 2005, got a little youth, got a little age, and it's basic. Chianti speaks to the recipe. The recipe at one point included white wine grapes, but now is focused predominantly on Sangiovese with a couple of little helper guys, Caniolo, Colorino, that come to give color, depth, and body. So this is, again, from Trambusti. First wine I'm going to taste is another clone of Sangiovese. It's called Morellino, the little brown one. This is Morellino di Scansano. Now, where we are is in a smaller region in Tuscany. Once again, up to my map, down here. It's in an area called the Maremma, where the most glorious chestnut brown horses are raised for show and sport. The Morellino di Scansano takes advantage of slightly riper fruit from slightly warmer climates and more fertile soil. So this is Ventoso Morellino di Scansano with the windy Ventoso pig gracing the label. And this is from Santa Vincenza, which you wouldn't know by reading the front. Let's take a taste. Look at that color, bright purple. Now, one of the reasons why the other grapes are blended in is because Sangiovese very quickly drops its color, but this ripe Morellino clone of Sangiovese is richer, riper, and the color shows. Wow, definitely a fruit-driven version. Dark cherries, almost plummy, not quite. Let me think boysenberries, low on the spice, and let's give it a taste. Very, very friendly. Now, hallmark of Sangiovese is that bright acidity. I don't know, tomatoes, Italian food, Sangiovese, these all seem to go together. This one can go with lighter meats. You don't want something too big to beat it up, but it plays well. And I honestly think it would work well with an antipasto platter with salamis and prosciuttos and whatnots as well. Really delicious little wine. Moving on, those of you that saw webisode 1 will recognize our Nespoli version of Sangiovese. This is a Sangiovese di Romagna, which is from up here in the Emilia-Romagna on the Romagna side. So again, a different place, different ripeness, different expression. And if you'll remember, we saw plummy fruit and spice in here as well. One of my favorite Sangioveses in the store because of the flexibility of its flavor profile. I'm cheating, taking advantage of the fact that I'm on camera and get to do this. I am tasting with you a Vino Nobile di Montepulciano Riserva, meaning extra time in oak, from 2001. So we're still in Toscana now, the heartland of Sangiovese, but very distinctly from a hill town called Montepulciano. The Vino Nobiles are the creme de la creme with longer aging, Riserva even longer aging on top of that. But a great introduction to the wines of Montepulciano will be the Rossos. So look for those. Their price reflects. Let's taste this one. I'm skipping my rinse to move on so you guys don't get bored. You can come over here and get some wine with me. Now, Riserva is showing me deeper color, perhaps a little bit more tinge of brown to give an indication of its age. And remember I said to you how Sangiovese drops its color? This is an example of that. You can almost see through it a bit more. If I had a white background besides myself, you'd get a little better glance at it. Wow. Earthier, you can almost get some of those barn flavors, wet underbrush, leather, all of these really sophisticated flavors from wine. Still an 8-year-old wine, but its acidity is still vibrant, not aggressive, but definitely means that with each bite, it's helping to clear your palate. Flavors more of red fruit. We've moved away from the plummy, spicy things of the Morellino, something a little bit more elegant and perhaps a bit more true to what we'll find in Sangiovese. The last is from a Chianti Classico producer. This is Le Balzan. This is one of their flagship wines. We're in the heart of Toscana, once again in the Chianti region. Il Poggiolino made the distinction to do a 100% Sangiovese, meaning they broke the rules and the recipes of that DOCG. Okay? Therefore, this glorious wine only gets what's called an IGT rating, Indicazione Geografica Tipica, showing grapes of the region, but not following the rules of the DOC. Phenomenal wine that we are pouring, believe it or not, downstairs in the cellar with our Sangiovese tasting. So, keep your eyes peeled for our various special night tastings. Tuesday nights are a bit more educational. Sometimes on Thursdays and Fridays we'll play with something as well. Encourage you to visit our website, 55 Degree Wine, to see what's on the menu for this week's tastings. Come on down and taste with us or come into the shop and get some advice on Sangiovese. Thank you. Staci Miller, over and out. See you next time. Bye.